I got the first FLACCID Four question from our friends at Footy Prime Supporters Club. 50 years ago, in 1974, James Sharman was born, and unrelated, we hope, the world was introduced to the Cruyff turn. What is your signature move on the pitch or in life or on the dance floor?
I'm going to go, my signature move in life is usually to laugh and to dance, not always simultaneously. And JP will look at me after I've told a poor pun or a really stupid joke and followed it by a really bad robot or like a weak move. And then I'm making myself laugh. He'll look at me and he'll say, your sisters aren't here.
Is that your audience? Was that your audience growing up all the time? So you could always get a chuckle?
And it continues to be. So you get the four of us in a room together, and we are very annoying, but also very entertaining.
I like that a lot because you brought family into it. You did a dance. I'm going to give that a 9.
Yes. Ooh. Thanks, Connor.
Craigor, what is your signature move on the pitch, in life, or on the dance floor?
Oh, you should see me on the dance floor, Wonger.
I've seen it.
It's special, eh? It's special. 6'5". I can just roll out the moves.
I think your move should be on the pitch. When you're on penalty shots. This guy runs along the line like you've never seen in your life.
Like not even a shuffle? He runs?
No, it's when a penalty shot's there. So picture him, 6'5", right? Massive torso. Little legs. And he's on the line and he goes back and forth. Like I was confused and I was playing with him. Look at this. And I remember nudging like Jeff Clark going, what the fuck is Forrest doing? Look at him. And then he saves penalties.
I never understood why goalkeepers actually to this day, why are they not doing more of that? You're allowed to move around on the line. Like I see a massive advantage to that.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I was nearly on the post sometimes when they took it.
He was going so far over, so far this week. You could see the guy taking the penalty, just going, "Oh my God, what is this guy doing?"
And going back to the Chelsea Man U game and those penalties, Onana wasn't doing anything. He was just kind of in there, and he looked almost nervous, like he was the counterpoint to Palmer, ice in his veins, so calm, so composed. Yeah. And Onana was gnawing on the back of his glove. I'm like, oh, he is not saving this. Like, there's no chance, right?
JC, you got to see if you can get it up. 4 saving penalties.
Well, it is the FLACCID Four.
Okay, the score for that is Craig gets a 5, and Jimmy gets bonus points. He gets 4 bonus points. So at the end, we have to add those on. Craig, that was ridiculously bad.
I got it. I'm.
You should see me. 6'5". There's not a move. JC, what is your move?
My move is it's the counterclockwise swirl. I'll leave it at that.
It's a nice
game. I'll give that an 8, just because of the reference.
The swaddle.
The counterclockwise.
Don't steal my move. Don't steal my move. Jimmy, I know you got 4 points there. What is your signature
Mine's
move?
going to have to be on the pitch. Yep. And it's funny because Holger Osiak used to yell at me to do the move. And then when we were playing, my nickname became the move. And it was just running at a defender, drop the shoulder, and then go around them.
So is it basically just trying to run around someone and dipping the shoulder?
And then go. And he'd always be, Jimmy, when you get the ball, you do the move. Do the move. Remember? Yeah. That's all he wanted me to do. You do the move. That's it. You do nothing else. Get the ball, do the move. Put the ball in the box.
It was just known as the move.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that accent and the actual move for the move is a 9.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'll tell you mine really quickly.
+4.
My move for a long time has been when you go into grocery stores, what you do is always go for the most expensive food. So you buy veal and seafood, but you don't buy it. You buy a potato and you stick the expensive food down your pants and walk out. So that's my move, is shoplifting.
Oh my God, you deplorable.
But always expensive food. Don't go for the cheap stuff.
So
Buy
it's okay.
Get in line, grab a potato, come out, but have veal and shrimp and lobster tail jammed down the front of your pants.
You imagine
Everything's
you
expensive.
imagine the smell of his balls, by the way.
No.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's not the way
Just-
you want to marinate veal.
I'm just saying, if
Veal.
people learn that move, they could save some money at Loblaws.
And by the way, the next time we're at Wonger's, we're not having a barbecue.
Right?
You know where that meat's come from.
No
Exactly.
seafood anyway.
It makes me think of my sister Sarah, because she went to VCU and lived in an area that was rather interesting, where there was a lot of that happening at the grocery store. And there was this larger woman who was in front of her at checkout, and then had her bags of groceries, or at least the things that she'd put on the conveyor belt. And she'd also tried this same ploy, but was not wearing pants, was wearing like a muumuu. And then a whole ham hock appeared on the ground in between her legs as she walked out. And then she just kept walking. And this discarded piece of enormous ham just sat there on the ground.
And no one wanted to get it.
Clean up on aisle two.
That was too close to her tenders.
Under a moo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, wait. So what are we giving Wonger for that?
for the shoplifting move.
Well, there was
for the
there was some
illegal activity.
engagement. There was engagement, so we got to give him a few points there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I feel
You
like
can
an 8.
stick a bell pepper down there now. They're about $4 a pop.
Oh,
That's true.
right by the bell end. And what did we give JC? Wonger?
JC got an 8, I think. I gave him. Yeah.
Okay. And then I give you an 8.
Oh, thank you. Dubs, your read.
Okay. Round 2 here. Question 2 for FLACCID FOUR. Cole Palmer's ice in his veins performance and ensuing hat trick decided a chaotic night at Stamford Bridge. In the midst of chaos, what's the one thing you can consistently deliver on the pitch or in life? And I'll start with, perhaps regrettably, Wonger.
I can always rally. So let's say you're all hanging out at a cottage and you go too hard the first night. If there's an abundance of people going out the second night, or an abundance of people staying in, you can always throw a bloody Caesar at me to get me going again. And
Like in your face?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Hey, too, Brute. I could always rally. So now it's getting harder, I have to admit, 2 or 3 days in a row. But, I was always pretty good at rallying. So that would be my consistency.
Yeah, that is true. Wonger
Thank
can
you.
rally.
Thank you.
Okay. Solid answer. I give you 7.5.
Oh, jeez.
Jimmy.
Tough.
I think probably I'm really quite calm in situations that can be quite nerve-wracking. For some reason, I've just got that calmness about me.
Care to give us an example, Jimmy?
Apart from penalties, yes.
I was going to say.
If there's any certain things with stress or if something's going on where there's commotion, I always seem to be quite relaxed in a situation and tend to take a little bit of control.
Mm-hmm. I like the answer because I feel a certain kinship with you on that, but your lack of a clear-cut example, I will give you 6.
Thank you.
Krager.
I would say when things are going chaotic, one thing I think my teammates would always know that I always had their back. Be there to back them up on whatever happened. And I didn't mind a little bit of chaos. I think Jimmy liked a bit of chaos too.
Yeah.
A little ruckus here and there, little over the top tackle here and there.
Liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Got fired up right now.
Can you think
I know, right?
of
I miss
perhaps
it. I miss it.
CONCACAF, or an example like that when you guys were playing?
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
No? That's a no then? Okay.
That was just a piss off. That was.
Okay, I give you a 7 because I like you just a little bit more than Jimmy. JC.
Something you can always rely on JC for is I always have done my research on where the best Asian food is, no matter where I am in the world. I'm obsessed with, and I think it's because there's no dairy in most Asian foods. So
Yeah.
like whether it be Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai. I'm not a big Korean food fan, sorry. But I always have done my research. And if anyone says, hey, let's go get some noodles at 4 a.m., it's like, I know the spot. So yeah, that's my.
Do you say it that clearly? Isn't it usually with a drug, something drug?
I know that.
I didn't want to offend anyone by slurring my words.
No, you are. You're a walking human version of an app. I just always want to have you around at like 3 a.m. if that ever happens to me again, because it's few and far
I can live
between.
in the garage. I'm cool to live in the garage.
Yeah.
Be on demand, on call whenever.
Yeah.
So I'm there.
Yeah. He's on speed dial.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
So I know
Very
we mentioned it.
highly
I know
useful.
a few weeks ago, Craig, JC, and I went to the opening for Law and Order, and it was open bar, and it was open bar. So we had a few drinks, and it was over fairly early, like 11 o'clock. And I think we mentioned this on the pod earlier, but we went out and we knew we'd go to wings at our local Gabby's in the Junction. And the next week we were talking about it, and JC went, "What are you talking about?" We're like, "Yeah, me, you, and Krager went out and ate wings." He's like, "I didn't eat wings." And he was somewhat affronted that we went without him. We're like, "You were with us the entire time."
I don't even remember that. Did we after that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yep. That's what Footy Prime marketing. We're good at it.
That's the rally spirit right there.
Okay, right. I'll answer. I gave JC 10 for his.
Oh,
solid answer.
I could spend that on noodles.
Yes, that's a lot of noodles.
10, the 10 Footy Prime, FLACCID 4 points.
Right. So to answer my own question, so I mentioned a kinship with Jimmy because I'm the same. In chaos, things seem to slow down, whether it's on the pitch or off the pitch, like as a mom, where your kid's like careening down the hill, like on a bike or on a scooter. My sisters tend to scream and I'm very, very calm. And it doesn't mean that the response is always better, but I think the kids always look to you to see what your reaction is. And then that can really incite their reaction further. So I do that very well. But on the pitch, one that I can think of is when there was that brawl in the NCAA tournament when I was playing in Nebraska. And that's what got us like almost 5,000 people for the next game the next week against Notre Dame in the Elite Eight. When that brawl broke out, somebody made like the card sign to the keeper who'd just been sent off, and she lost her marbles and she went at the girl. And I was a couple meters away and I was looking the other way. And then I heard like the melee kind of break out and I sprinted over. And then rather than like bowl somebody over and kind of start to throw punches, I just got in the middle of them and tried to separate them. And apparently when they were going to levy all these suspensions and we were potentially going to be missing players for the next game, because I was in the middle of it and being vocal and trying to create peace, or at least seemingly trying to, that's what saved us from getting all these fines and getting potentially yellow cards and things after the fact. So.
Is there anything on video? I want to see this.
No, there's no video, but there were just some stills and a couple of good shots.
Very Canadian too, Amy.
Yeah.
Very peacekeeper-ish, which we haven't been doing enough of, but that's another conversation.
But also fighting.
Yeah, and fighting. Yeah. I'm going to judge that one. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, you're so kind.
Well, look, the fact that Amy could have been in a fight and she took the upper, the high road. I like that. Yeah.
9.
Jimmy, it's okay. You still got that +4 bonus points for answering Craig's question. Listen, so Craig and I have been dealing with lots of leaks from roofs and pipes, and it's put us out. But I was wondering, for our former players, the leakiest boat you ever were part of, and what I mean by that is the most fragile team mentally or physically. What team was that?
I'm going to go elsewhere with this because you did say leaky boat.
Yeah.
I actually bought a boat. Okay? and probably, I think it was maybe 2007, 2008. Okay. I go, I was like, I want to get a nice little boat. I was living downtown. I love the water. And I went to Godrich and bought this, it was an 18-foot Durrell Citation. Now,
How much did it cost you?
I was maybe about like 15K or something like that. 16K. Now, this guy had it done up immaculate, and I saw it. I was like, this is beautiful. Exactly what I want. Brought it back to Toronto, put it in the Queen's Quay Marina. And I took it out for a little spin, got my boat license. I had a couple of good days with it. And I'm sitting in my condo that overlooked the water. And I see this boat half underwater. And I was with my brother, and I'm looking. I was like, look at that guy's boat, man. It's half underwater. What the fuck is going on over there? Then I realized it was my boat. So the guy sold me a dud. And what he did was, when he put the boat together, he used wood screws. The paint was coming off. The boat was sinking. And I had to go back to the marina and try to bail this boat out. And that was it. I never had my boat after that because it was a piece of shit.
How much did you sell it for?
They actually bought it off me on the island because I had to get a guy to come take it, bring it over to the island, drain all the water. He told me everything that was wrong with it. And then I think he bought it off me for like $9,000. I think he just used the parts.
Shouldn't you have done that first? Had that conversation with the guy?
Yeah.
I was just excited, you know.
And knew nothing about him.
That was my leaky boat.
I like that story. It was
about
self-deprecating.
Mm-hmm.
Showed how enthusiastic you could be. Overly enthusiastic, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'll give that a 8.5.
And I'm going to dock Jimmy 5 for having told the story 4 weeks ago on Flaccid Four.
Did I tell that story?
Yes, you did.
The same one?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't dock him. This is my question.
Speaking of boats, I can.
Jeez. Okay. Most fragile team, Craig Forrest.
Would have been the 95 Ipswich team. Second half of the season. Broken. Oh, broken. Lambs to the slaughter every game.
And like unenthusiastic, guys looking out the window on the way to the drive up, not wanting to be accountable. Like, how bad was it?
Yeah, it just got really, really bad. We were just devastatingly poor, and it was inevitable that we were going to be relegated.
Fights?
No, I think the guys had come to terms with it, actually, but it was difficult being a goalkeeper behind that.
Not a lot of fun, or did you kind of eke out some fun when you know? Because there's this level of, hey, we're crap. We're professional athletes, and we're going to have some fun on the back end here.
Well, I knew I was going to get shots. It was like, I'm going to get 20 shots today. So, and during that stretch was the 9-0 defeat and 4 at Spurs and just on and on.
Did the
down to 3?
Was the goalkeeper coach, was he easy on you during the week because he knew that you were going to get peppered on the weekend?
Pretty much. I was trying to book a hamstring, and he kept talking me into playing. I didn't want to play.
You were going to do an Insigne fake hamstring move just to get off?
Oh.
Yeah, but actually, yeah.
Accusation.
Oh, sorry. Bev Priestman and Insigne are going to be hurt by our show today.
Fired today.
Yeah. Craig, I'm going to give that. There was some good narrative, historical. I'm going to go with a 9. I like that. Yep. Dub's worst fragile team, leakiest boat you've ever been part of.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to capitalize on the leaky bit. So my first year at Nebraska, I was a sophomore because I spent my first year at McGill, and I was in an apartment with another Quebecer, and that was great because she was French speaking, and it gave her kind of an emotional outlet to be able to express herself in her mother tongue. But she was also notoriously cheap. And when we left for Christmas break, made sure that the apartment was all ready to go because we're going to be gone for about a month. And I think there was a trip to Australia in there with the national team. So we're going to be gone a long time. And we got back to the apartment to not only this absolutely disgusting stench, but also, and this is taking you back to the leaky here, this is the link, just the ground in the kitchen was just covered in water, and I couldn't figure it out. So looked to the sink, nothing was happening. She'd unplugged the fridge to try to save money on our utilities bill. And then the freezer had kind of defrosted and leaked all over the floor. And then I was the one, even though she'd done it herself, she was kind of dry heaving because of the stench. I had to take a bag and then get rid of all the stuff that was in the fridge that we'd left that wasn't going to go off.
But there was food in your fridge. There was food in your fridge?
Well, not stuff that was going to spoil, like fruit and vegetables and things like that, but just, I don't know, other
mayonnaise?
Staples. Like, no, well, I guess we'd left some things because there was enough that it absolutely reeked. But she unplugged the fridge.
Did this teammate get a degree?
Yes.
Good God.
In fridge management.
Yeah.
So
she hadn't learned it yet.
Leaky teammate, leaky brain, perhaps.
Yeah, that's gross. Okay. So narking out one of your old teammates, I'm going to give that a 4.
Oh, wow.
No loyalty. There's no loyalty from Dubs. In 10 years when she's not on.
Clean it up?
No.
Okay.
It's too earnest.
Name names.
Too earnest.
Yeah, I didn't name names.
I know who it is.
You don't have to say.
Yeah.
JC, leakiest boat.
Well, I got to go with, I think it was around 2007 or 2008. I was living over on Queens Quay, and I just got into Toronto, and so I'm like, I'm gonna buy myself a boat because I'm living on. So I went up to Godrich and I bought myself this boat. It was about 15 grand. Anyway, so I took it out. I'm like, yeah, I got a boat now. And then the one day I'm hanging out with Jimmy's brother on the balcony, and I look over and I'm like, yo, look at that guy's boat. And then he's like, I think that's your boat. And then it turns out my boat was like half sunk in the water because the guy had used wood screws to put, and the paint was coming off. Man, I'll tell you, that was a day. Then they bought it off me on the island. It's crazy.
For how much?
$80.
Yeah.
There's some parallels here, aren't there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a 9 right there.
I agree.
I pay
That's a
attention.
leaky boat.
Yeah.
Buy high.
That's the third
sell
time I've
low.
heard that story. That was by far and away the best version.
Yeah, it gets better every time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jimmy.
We'll hurry this one up. My leakiest boat story, softest team had to be my grade 10 football team at Glebe Collegiate. Shout out to Ottawa. Just no heart. Love all you guys, but when we got beat, we beat the best. We lost to the best team. 10-0 in the first game against Brookfield. Second time we played them during the season, we lost 40-0. There's nothing like leaving a field when you did nothing right and guys running over your face physically. So grade 10 junior football, we were not good. That was a fragile team. Thank you.
You took your knocks and you came back stronger.
Wow. There's always another season, motherfuckers.
That's right. Always another game, another season.
For that tagline, I give you 9.
Thank you. I like that.
Saved it.
Okay, Jimmy, last FLACCID FOUR question.
I'm going to go with the CPL, and they've had all their new jerseys that have come out, and I'm interested to know which ones do you like? There's been some great designs through Macron this year.
There has.
I think
I'm
we have to
going with-
choose one.
I'm going with Vancouver,
Or the cherry blossom.
the cherry blossom. If they were going to play in trees, they would look amazing. Nice jersey, though. Really nicely done.
Wonger.
It's a tough one. I really liked Halifax when they came out, and I still do. But I think the one that won me over was Valor. That red, I like it. I like it a lot. And, I think Valor would be my CPL kit of the year. There you go.
Oh, I like it. JC?
I got to go with Pacific because I love the second jersey because it has the Haida indigenous.
Yeah, I saw that. That
art
was
on
cool.
it because I have a Haida seal right here. So
On your chest as a tattoo?
I do, yeah.
Oh,
And I got it out in Vancouver, and but I think it's just beautiful. I love that type of art, and I think it's really great that showcasing indigenous artwork. I think it's really cool.
very cool.
It is. Nice jersey.
Dubs.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom. Were we talking about CPL jerseys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one struck you as the winner?
I don't know if I've seen all of them, but I mentioned it right off the top. I think that we were recording Vancouver's Cherry Blossoms. I just think those are maybe the nicest kit going. I don't even just mean in CPL. I mean like in North American football.
Wow.
Like, they're stunning.
You're not a big fan of the pink, though.
I'm not a big fan of the overt bash you over the head. It's pink because it's women's football pink. But I like it when you're being a little bit more subversive, less obvious, and I like the nod to nature. I like that reflected in the
Mother Nature, pink.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Cherry blossom.
Cup.
Yeah. There has been some great kits, and I do like Pacific. I like the Cherry Blossom. I think is brilliant. Have you guys seen the Ottawa kit?
The Atletico.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Describe it.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's quite a cool kit.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Why don't you talk about it, Jimmy? It looks like a little bit of a mosaic with different colors kind of pasted or collaged together.
Well, the meaning, Dubs, it's a symbol of Ottawa's ever-growing and vibrant soccer culture, honoring contributors past and present. It's called the Culture Kit.
The socks
wow.
too that go with that are awesome.
It's a nice kit.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that, eh?
for
That
Ottawa.
collage thing, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I like
But-
it too. It's almost patchwork, right? It actually makes me think of Forrest. Don't laugh. in the best way possible. It reminds me of some warm-up kit that you saw in Qatar. I think Portugal's different tones and different colors that were used, a different kind of color palette, but in a similar vein. And I like that that's an official kit. It's not just like a warm-up or kind of like culture thing to make sales on your kit, but they're actually going to play in it. I really like that. Innovative.
I like that. So it's our Dubs. Have you been keeping score?
I have been keeping score, but if you could just remind me, because I missed, I think, some answers in this round.
Well, we didn't do it. Jimmy didn't give any out. So this was
So should
more
we
of
just do
a...
5
I'm
across
gonna-
the board for everybody?
Everybody gets an 8
There, everyone gets an 8. So you can
because
cross that
everybody's
out.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right after this, we're going to go. We are really going long on this, aren't we? We got footy picks coming up. So when Dubs tallies us, we'll be ready to go. Oh, her math skills. I can see the hamster wheel going.
Just gotta stock up
Carry
now,
the
count
4,
our
carry
toes.
the 4.
Carry
How long
Almost
have you
there.
been going now?
An hour and 10 minutes. You see the clock right in front of you, don't you? On the screen?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
Used
But
to.
how's this for a respite from your life right now, Jimmy? Is it good to visit with us?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay, good. We can only be as supportive as we can when we're virtually away.
Yes.
Do we have
We have a winner.
Who's the winner?
Winner chicken dinner for the best noodle spot in any city. It's JC.
Yeah, JC.
I really thought my shoplifting story would take me over the top, and it didn't.
You finish in second though, Wonger.
Hey, I'll take second to JC.
Jimmy was thard. I was
because you
second
deducted
last, and
5
Krager,
points.
you pulled up the rear today.
Ah, there you go.
Suck on my ball.
Always.